Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So it does appear that Brian Grant has done it. He has popped open his eggs. So therefore in today's video we are going to be talking about Brian Grant's eggs. And we're not going to be talking about his eggs, but we are going to be talking about the realm event itself. I know it was meant to be like a beta test for the general realm events, but it is quite obvious that, in my opinion, that it didn't quite start or go the way Kabam hoped it would. And we have similar effects happening now with the Jax Battlegrounds Blitz as well. So we're gonna touch a bit up on both elements because these have been quite an active discussion, because I think it is quite safe to say they have not landed as well as Kabam would have expected them to, and they definitely do not seem to be nowhere near as popular and universally loved in the community as, let's say, the Road to the Crypt event that accompanied Necropolis, which was pre-originator for all of these events. Therefore, we, I think, should dissect them a bit. And that said, again, starting with a big thank you to Brian Grant. You know, it's obviously nice to receive stuff that you otherwise wouldn't, because it was a single person and actions, and him acting as, you know, the savior of the situation. However, the bad thing is that we even got to the position we are in the first place, in my opinion. And again, accepting all the fact that this is, in my opinion, a good learning experience for Kabam, I hope they too do take it away as such, because such an ending to this event is just about the best case scenario Kabam could have gotten out of this. Because obviously Brian could have also not opened his eggs, and we would have missed all the best rewards, all the best milestones, and that's exactly where we can start off with this event. Is that, well, it was lackluster for the more experienced players in the community. And even though Kabam is going to say that it was geared towards the middle tier players, what I think there is quite a significant lapse of judgment in it, because the players who hold the most crystals in the game and have the ability to open most crystals are not middle tier players. If they want these events to be successful, I think number one thing Kabam has to keep in mind is not only players need to have a lot more extra motivation than whatever this is, they also need significantly more extra incentives to push it, to go out of your way, to go above and beyond. And well, this event with some titles here, I don't think it quite does it. I think the grouping of these rewards, again, with having all the rewards and milestones and everybody getting in these, in this case, as long as you open 1000 crystals, which is quite an easy task. But then past that point, you got no reward for opening 2, 3, 4, or 5,000 crystals. Now I know some people who have opened like 50k, but even I kind of like opened, I think, around 4 to 5k extra crystals that I absolutely otherwise would not have opened. I have had a ton of stuff expired because of it, and it was quite honestly much more hustle than it was worth, even if we were to hit all the milestones, you know, normally. So again, I think this event was planned very, very poorly, because it is an event that would require the most experienced player base kind of like lock in and give it their all without giving us a single good reason to do so. Because 1000 7-star shards is not that reason. It really isn't. And that's kind of silly, in my opinion. It, again, the event itself kind of like is counterintuitive to what it's designed to be. And we get similar type of things with the Jax Battlegrounds Blitz as well. And this is where we're going to kind of like shift over, where by the current trend and speed, I think somebody calculated that we are on track to get to around 750 million milestone, thus kind of skipping the best rewards: the Titan Crystal, the 7-star Sig Stones, a ton of Elder's Marks, some of the more significant stuff in here. And part of the reason there is I'm not gonna say demotivating players, but more so not giving that much extra incentive. Kabam took out Elder's Marks from these events, which I think they shouldn't have done. I think Kabam should throw Elder's Marks at every player as much as possible through milestones, objectives, or any extra bits, so players do have easier time inflating their scores and they feel like they're contributing more. Because with these events, a lot of it is going based on our feelings. How do we feel we are being rewarded compared to, normal event? An event like this, once I reach my max milestones, I don't have that much motivation, to spend units on it and keep grinding and try and put up much more points than I otherwise would. Because there's no more solo event, right? The rank rewards for this, they're not awful, but whether I rank at, let's say, 1,000 spot or 5,000 spot, there isn't that much of a difference for me either. And I can easily put my hands up, say I have done my job, I have gotten my 5k milestones. And the crucial thing with this is that at this point it already started to feel like not an extra event like Road to the Crypt was, but much more so than just a blatant rejiggling of things that does not necessarily benefit you more than a regular season. Because they're taking away the Elder's March from the Alliance event, because they are taking away the solo event altogether. We have this instead, and whatever rewards we get here depend entirely on the community and community participation rather than your own effort. It takes away the crucial agency from yourself. And everybody can always say you should be, a team player and stuff like that. And, I agree. I am trying to put up a bigger score this season than I would in a normal season on a personal level. But I know a lot of people who aren't. I know a ton of people who aren't, because they're saying kind of like, what's the point? I'm going to put up whatever scores required to me by my alliance, and I'm going to get the minimum milestone points by end of the season. That's it. I have very little interest to grind extra, because Kabam has taken away, part of the individual solo rewards here. And all of this can be obviously used as a learning experience, and I hope that Kabam does so as well. Another thing, obviously, is that all the beginning milestones are just trash. Because if we have spent already an entire week chasing these together, a community, we haven't gotten anything worthwhile yet. So that's another thing that I think Kabam kind of needs to think about. I'm not saying all the initial milestones need to be awesome, but every couple of milestones or every 4 milestones or so, there should be something very good that we actually want. Like there can be some 6-star shots, 6-star shots, bang, 5,000 7-star shots, something, just to give us that bit of extra push incentive along the way. Crystal Cleansing went the same. Like, yeah, before Brian Grant popped his egg, we were at 650k points. Seeing that the next milestone that we could possibly achieve, let's say in a day or two, 2,500 6-star shots, made me go like, oh, what's the point? 2,000 6-star shots is absolutely nothing that anybody with half, built up account is going to go out of their way to chase. Now, if there was like 2,500 7-star shots, it could be better. I'm not saying, again, they could have completely buffed this event up, even though I think there should have been better rewards for this 1,000,000%. I do think the way they staggered the milestones themselves and how, well, useless most of this stuff at the beginning is a problem. Anyways, this is not meant as like some sort of an attack and insult on Kabam, but in my opinion, so far, Kabam has not had a good start with realm events. Or at the very least, they could be a lot better. And I hope Kabam addresses that, because these are meant to be feel-good events that bring community together. And this is the final point. And I do not know exactly how Brian himself feels about it. It is quite important to talk about it, because What Kabam did to Brian Grant, in my opinion, is quite nasty, to be honest. Because I saw so much crap Brian got in like line chat rooms and in his own streams, everybody popping in, just, you know, telling him, just open the bloody eggs, like, what do you care, what does it matter, you know, I'm gonna get my 7-star shards, or I'm gonna get my tier 2 dust, and there was so much attention, good and bad, thrown at Brian. Now, regardless whether he would have opened or wouldn't have opened, I would have been perfectly fine with it. Because I don't think what Kabam did was, again, good, fair, or nice to Brian. He might disagree with it, he might have loved it, but I know that if I was in Brian's position, I wouldn't necessarily want that. Like, if there was something in the game that, you know, I cared for, that has some sentimental value to me, and I was effectively dared or tasked to get rid of it for the good of everybody, I think that would be quite crappy to be forced to make that choice. And again, all the negative attention that comes with it. And yeah, it's just, I don't think it was cool on a personal level. Now, that said, we might as well open Exalted Crystal. Thanks, Brian. And if we get a cool 7-star, then, well, I'm gonna go head to the next Brian Grant stream and say him thanks in person. Right. So we have a chance to get the duck, I suppose. Right. Let's see. Can we get the 7-star? 1 in 5 crystals should be a 7-star. Come on, show me something good. Venom the... There's a surprisingly large amount of Venom the Ducks in this. I'm not even mad. Hey, thanks, Brian. Some more 6 and crossbones. That's not awful at all. Those ones quite good. Not in crit me meta, but in general. He's rank 2 already. Now Sig 40. Nice. Thanks. That's funny because that's like a better basic pull than I have had in a very long time. So yeah, there we go. Thanks, Brian. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the